Thank you for a chance to speak tonight. As you know, I'm Steve Bader. I work for the union, and I just really want to thank those on the town who made the motion, seconded, and adopted the motion to consider the case. As some of you know who we talked to directly, since the beginning, we've asked to have conversations, and what the feedback we got was that the process needed to follow itself out, play itself out. And we've obviously been trying to help let the citizens and residents know the real facts as far as we see them in the context of the process. But now that the formal process in terms of the grievance is over, we definitely think this is absolutely appropriate that you all look at this information. Again, some can testify. We've attempted to have conversations, and we've respected the point that folks have made that, you know, you couldn't speak on it. The whole time we did feel, based on the policies, that you could have taken it up in executive session, could have taken up the ordinance around the grievance procedure. I don't think any of us expected how incredibly not fair due process was in that. Again, it was good faith on our part to go through it. But when there's anonymous people that we don't even know, no one knows if they're actually residents or if they're employees of CAI. So, I mean, nobody knows. And so I think it's really appropriate. A couple of points I hope you all will consider as you discuss it is, you know, there's as Don acknowledged, there's a history of racism. Emmett Till, as we know, was killed, was basically lynched based on people's perceptions at the time. The Scottsboro boys in the 30s were put behind bars based on people's perceptions. I don't know the people who allegedly made this complaint personally, but what I do know is that your Director of Public Works, Lance Norris, acknowledged in the employment security hearing that, yes, white people respond differently to him when he's walking down the street sometimes, that there's a fear generally in the society that we have all received, you know, black and white people, about stereotypes, about racism, and that because somebody is afraid allegedly of somebody else does not mean that somebody has done something to cause that person to be afraid. And we ask you to take that you know, into serious consideration. There's all sorts of stereotypes that our union is against in terms of sexism, in terms of homophobia, that people feel threatened by other people, and that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is threatening them. And that's what's happened here. That's the essence of the case. We appreciate your support for collective bargaining. I mean, as Mark has said, and as we've acknowledged a number of times, this is a leading town around that. If there was collective bargaining, though, we should act in fairness, right? There would be progressive discipline, so that within 2 days, that's when an investigatory hearing should have happened, when there was this accusation, instead of 2 months later when a bunch of other stuff happened. So, you know, ask that you refer some of these points to your discussion, and would also ask that it happen as soon as possible, because these two gentlemen have been unjustly fired and are out in the street. The only time there was an independent investigation was the Unemployment Security Commission, and hope you'll read that where it says every single line, there's no evidence, there's no evidence, there's no evidence, and ask yourselves why somebody who listened to the case would find that. Thank you.
Thank you.